Hey, everybody. This is Justin. Welcome to Fly on the Wall podcast. I'm with Houston. Houston is a 23-year-old photographer who just happens to have Down syndrome. And I found him, and he's fantastic. So let's be honest, I spend a lot of time on TikTok because there's nothing else to do at the moment. I got my second vaccination, so we're going to be good to go here shortly. But I came across your TikTok, which you probably know the one I'm talking about. It's the one with currently 9.3 million views.
Yes.
That is insane. That's so many people. It's so many people to think about who have seen your video. How does that TikTok video make you feel?
The video's good. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it is it is it
it
overwhelming? Is he getting noticed in public?
Yes, to be.
yeah. He had physical therapy today, and the therapist said that she was going to show her 16-year-old daughter. She's like, "Let me show you this guy that comes to therapy." And the daughter's like, "You know him?"
So you've now
Yes, and we know
become,
him.
That's what she
yeah,
said.
we
Yes,
know
yes,
him.
we do.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
Houston now. But what was cool is that one, um, I've been speaking to your mom because immediately after I saw the video, I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? That would be awesome to meet Houston. One, because we're both photographers.
Yes, right. Yes. Yeah,
I
we
do
are.
concert photography, and you do this beautiful landscape, just wonderful traveling
Yes. Down.
photography.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's where your screen name came from. Downs and
Yes, right.
Towns.
Yes, right. Yes.
Yeah, we started out with Houston V Photography, and it was kind of obvious early on that it was going to be really bigger than Houston. And
It's it's so weird how that happens.
it, it's it's the timing has been incredible for everything, really. and
So
and it's been a good platform for us to have to use photography to relate to a whole bunch of people.
so the one thing I like about photography, and I'll tell you how I got into it. And when I told you it was by accident, it really was by accident. So I'm a disabled vet, so I have to find things to keep me busy, to keep me occupied. Um, and uh, and there was a new radio station that had just started here in Salt Lake City, and I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, I know nothing about photography, and what do you guys think if I just came by and just took some snapshots? They're like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. And so that's how I accidentally fell into photography, and I had to teach myself and learn. So for you, Houston, is that something that you had always wanted to be? Was a photographer, or was this kind of like you did it and then you realized you were good at it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably both of those.
That's
He
awesome.
he has a good eye for beautiful things. He's got a sensitive spirit, I guess, that can really see the beauty in things. But he also has the knack of making people feel comfortable. And so it goes a long way when you're trying to photograph people. I'm sure you know that with concerts and public.
Yes. I am not this outgoing person. I'm really reserved, and I had to crawl out of my shell. So when I started to meet celebrities and musicians, and you grow up listening to people and then you meet them. I had to pretend I was totally cool with it. And I wasn't. I
Well,
was
yeah,
not. I was not.
Houston has never been reserved and never been shy, and he never meets a stranger. And
That's right.
so that goes a long way.
It shows in your work. So there is a website starting tomorrow, right?
It's right.
So,
Yes.
to where, like, if I wanted to put, instead of, well, you can't see it, but that's Spider-Man. If I wanted to put one of your pictures on the wall, what's the website I would go to get some of your prints?
No, you.
Is
You
it?
to me.
Downs,
Towns and Towns.
So
downsandtowns.com.
everything as far as your social media. So you're also on Instagram,
Yep.
because that's how I contacted your mother. By the way, your mother is a great representative for you. She's
Oh, thank you.
she does a great job. She was really easy to talk to, and so TikTok's the same way. Are you also on Facebook?
Yes.
And Twitter.
And Twitter. Yes.
Facebook and I'm missing 2 places. I'm failing.
we're most active on Instagram. We've done that for several years. The TikTok, I started to say earlier, if you notice, the video that went viral was just the second video ever that he posted. It just hit at the right time, and it hit probably the right algorithm and the right audience.
Well, that and he's funny. So the way you performed your TikTok, it was funny. I loved it. And the first thing I did was turn around and share it with everybody that I know. I'm like, you've got to see this dude. And then I checked out your Instagram, where I got to see some of your photos and what you've been doing. And then I was a fan from there.
Right.
Awesome.
So what do you do in your spare time when you're not being a local celebrity and known by millions?
Oh, yeah. Really good.
Where do you work?
Oh, I forgot the name. No, you don't.
Houston works at Lucky Day.
Yeah.
Resale shop and gift shop.
Oh, awesome.
And what do you do there?
Mm-mm.
They resell a thrift shop.
Oh,
And
awesome. That's another one of my favorite things I love to do.
Yep, they have the cool things. The reason he got the job was because we were their best customers, because we're there all the time.
Oh, awesome. See, in Utah, we've got something called the DI, and I think my son and I go there at least once a week, close to once a week. I try to go. That and Goodwill and stuff like that. I'm always looking for that little hidden treasure. So
Yep, we're big fans of Goodwill too.
yeah.
Right.
Well, the cool thing is you're in Tennessee. You guys can go out, and there's always something neat to find at a thrift store.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
when I was living in South Carolina, like we'd go, there was always something to find. It seems like the further west you go, it's a little bit more difficult to find the cool things. So
I think out west, people tend to hold on to things a little bit more. Is what we've seen.
I'd agree to that. So you're a traveling photographer, and
Yeah.
from my understanding, you've been to how many different countries?
Remember?
No, you remember.
26, we think.
26. How does traveling make you feel, Houston?
Well, Dover's good.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's fun. Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the plane ride?
Ooh,
Taking pictures out the window.
that's right.
So you're
There's-
dedicated 24/7. That's awesome.
That's right.
There's 2 pictures in his collection that are aerial views, and one was out of the window of an airplane, and then the other was out of the window of a helicopter where he went up.
Oh, that's so awesome. And how old were you when you got into your photography?
Little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little, you're 23 now, so you've been doing this since you were just a kid.
Yeah, I'm kid.
Since all this has come about, his kindergarten teacher, who has moved away, reached out to him, and she said in her stuff she found a disposable camera and had it developed, and it was from Houston's pictures.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Kindergarten. So he's been taking pictures for a long time.
You know what? The biggest advice I've got for you, and typically I don't leave the house without a camera, either be it like my cell phone or I use a Canon 7D, is don't leave home without it, because you never know. You never know when you may be inspired to do something. And
Yep.
is that how you feel too?
Yes.
That's awesome. is there anything that gets you inspired? Or is it just like you're in the moment and you're like, you know what, that would be a great photo?
Some of the places we've been, you honestly can't take a bad photo.
I've
So
noticed, and
that's,
I'm pretty envious of those places.
yeah, that's,
I'll be honest.
yeah, we went to Iceland, and truly any direction you
Oh,
point your camera, it is amazing. And some of the places in France or Spain, there's so much history that you just can snap away and anything's going to be pretty. But some of
that's
the times you have to really work. You want the light to be right, you want the composition to be right. Landscapes are actually trickier.
I'm gonna
We've
tell
spent
you,
more time.
there's two things I can't do. I can't do weddings because they terrify me. Because if your camera just decides not to work, you can't just redo the wedding.
Nope.
So those terrify me. And I will probably never do one. And landscape because I don't have the patience for it. Concert photography is a little bit different because you've got to take in usually hold on. You've got to take into consideration the low light and there's a lot of movement, so it's tricky in its own aspect. But landscape is a totally different thing that I'm just not good at.
Well, we have seen a whole lot more sunsets than
Yeah.
we have sunrises. I
Oh
think,
no, I get you there. I like my
yeah,
sleep.
the truly good landscape photographers are out in the dark for the sun to come up, and we've done that a few times. But normally we're in bed, and
Yeah,
we like to
yeah.
watch the sunset.
No, I feel you. And you guys are getting almost to the time of year where it starts getting warm outside, and right now I think everything should be yellow, nice
It
and
is. Our
nice and
cards are
colony.
yellow. Yep, our porch is yellow. Everything is yellow.
Yeah.
Let's see. What what kind of equipment do you use? Are you a Canon guy, Nikon?
Yeah, I gone. Yes.
Oh, nice. And are you now that you're a big celebrity in your own neighborhood,
No, I don't. No.
Around the world.
known
Right.
throughout the world, why did you pick Nikon? Is it because it just works, or
Yeah, it works. No, come on.
He's a Canon guy.
I know that.
I'm a
Yeah.
Canon guy. That's the only thing we disagree on.
I got it. Yeah.
We had a Nikon pre-digital, and it's just kind of gone since then. And once you get the lenses, it's hard to make a change.
Well, the cool thing is now they make adapters for all the old lenses. So your old 35 millimeter lenses you can actually adapt to the new bodies, which is really neat. So I've got a little Canon M50 that I use as a webcam. This is my cell phone, but I can use all of my lenses that I have purchased over time to put on the new stuff. So that's something to think about too. I always hit up the yard sales to see if I can find something.
I think our best lens, we just bought a fisheye lens, was $150 off a Facebook post.
That's pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
So here's another. You're gonna know more about me. I don't buy anything new except for the camera, right? But I will go to a yard sale and then I will go shoot a concert with like a $2 lens. And most of the people that are hired through the labels, or they are sitting there with their $4,000 cameras, and I'm like, one, I can't afford it, but two, I love the challenge.
Yeah.
So
we live in a 140-year-old house, and we don't buy much new either.
that's awesome. That's one thing I like about Tennessee is that those are a little bit more available,
Yeah.
and you can get a really good deal on them. It seems like the further west you go, the more expensive it gets.
Yeah.
So, like, you work at a thrift store, which is awesome. You're a world-known photographer. Do you have any questions for me? Let's give each other some tips.
No, but tips.
Yeah.
No, you.
Tips
No, you.
for photography?
Yes.
Ask Justin what's his favorite photography tip.
Mm.
So as far as my photography goes, I try to just, kind of like you, make the person feel comfortable. And I shoot it until it feels right. Not necessarily when I think it looks right, if this makes any sense, but it's a feeling. Like you look at it and you can kind of feel it in your heart and you're like, I like that. I like that. And that's when I know I think I've done all right. Do you get that feeling, Houston?
Yes.
Awesome. So when you're not being the master photographer, do you have any hobbies that you do?
Yes. I got two sisters.
He has two sisters
I got mom and dad. Yeah.
and a mom and dad. Yep.
No, you.
And what do you like to do for fun? What do you have in your bedroom?
No.
Houston is a huge WWE fan. He's like the
That-
world's biggest wrestling fan.
That's
No, I'm
awesome.
not doing drugs.
And Monster
And
Jam
that
trucks
goes.
and Legos.
Yes.
Yep.
I better be anything.
Do you play any instruments or anything, like guitar, or do you sing?
No, I
or-
got bucket drum.
He has a drum,
No, bucket.
a bucket drum. Yeah. He plays with a bagpipe woman, and they play drums in parades,
No,
and
boys.
they go to veterans homes around here.
About this.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's good. Yeah.
That's one thing I don't have the rhythm. I couldn't drum on anything to save my life.
Well, that's the good part about playing with bagpipes is you don't hear anything but
They drown you out.
Yeah.
The cow going like, what's that? That's the bagpipes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just never about.
Even the cows turn and look to see
They
the
go.
music, don't they? They sure
This
do.
guy go, ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't say the words like that. And do emphasis. It's soft. And bagpipes again.
That's awesome. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what other questions I have. So you got in photography a long time ago. You're 23. Is there if you had a message for anybody struggling to do what they love to do? So like for you it's photography. If you had a message to share with anybody listening, do you have anything that you could say to them to make them feel better about their choices of what they want to do?
Just do it.
Let's do it.
Yep. We have a message for you.
Yes.
Yes, you need to not say that you got into photography accidentally, because
It
that's
was though.
no, but that's not an accident. That's the thing. You got to learn to push yourself and
Yeah.
to take risks and to not accept labels or accept limits. And so what you did was actually very brave. And
It was terrifying.
yes, and I think
so
that's
terrifying.
we've been on trips where it's
Oh, yeah.
kind of gotten scary, you
Like,
know, and
yeah.
late at night in a strange town, and you got to be willing to kind of get out there, and the fun really starts at the edge of your comfort zone. And so I think
I've
if we
noticed
were going to
that.
have a takeaway, don't let anyone limit you, whether it be from a label that you have or something that's happened, but just know within yourself what you can do and then be willing to go for it.
Well, here's the deal I'll make with you guys is I'll stop saying I fell into it by accident. It kind of was, but you also have to believe that that you get into things because you're meant to do it.
Yes.
So while I may not communicate well with people, I know that through my photography I can convey those feelings. So it's yeah, it was terrifying at the beginning, and then to this day it's still a little nerve-wracking. I finally got some stuff coming up that's going to be really exciting. But yeah, no, I just need to accept, and everybody needs to accept that they have talents and they have skills, and they were meant to share them with people. And Houston's got a massive audience for his work, and I looked at your TikTok today and I was like, I wonder how his video's doing. And when I saw it was at 9.3 million, I was just blown away.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
And we've been in touch with people literally all over the world. And it's been so cool to talk with parents that have a baby with Down syndrome, or that have a diagnosis of a baby that's going to be born with Down syndrome. And it's so cool to be able to say, you know what, it's going to be good. That the journey might be long, it might be different than what you thought, but it's going to be great. And so this has really opened up a lot of doors for us.
well, the one thing that I discussed with you when we were talking was shattering stereotypes. And I think, that there's still a lot of stereotypes when it comes to people with Down syndrome, that they're not able to do things that, like what we're normally able to do, and it's harder. And I've had many friends with Downs, and typically they're better at what they do than what I do. So it's just a different mindset. But we were talking about shattering stereotypes, and you, Houston, just shattered a massive stereotype. You have a lot of skill, and you have a lot of heart, because I can see that in your photos. And I'm very thankful that I came across your page, because now I get to talk to you, dude. And and now we're best friends, and now we have to give each other photography advice.
You may go back and forth again.
I'll share some advice with your listeners that we learned. Houston did the 4-H photography project group all through school, and was a state finalist in 4-H photography. And what they told us was that the 3 tips for photography is, the first one is to have a subject. And if you will actually just have a subject for your picture is going to be better than 90% of all the pictures that are ever taken.
Is it going?
Yep. And the second one is figure out how to draw attention to that subject. And so that might be eliminating distractions, that might be leading lines, that might be the way that the light shines, whatever it is to draw attention to your subject. And then the third is to have your subject tell a story. And if you can do those 3 elements, then you can have a powerful picture, whether they're a musician on a stage, or a tree out in the field, or a person getting married.
Yeah, those.
We probably won't do wedding photography.
No,
either, will we?
It says no wedding.
Yeah.
He says you said about no wedding photo.
Yeah.
You said that.
That's right.
Yeah, I did. And mainly because if something happened, like your battery went dead or something, you can't pause the wedding. You can't be like, okay,
wait,
we're
hold
done.
on.
Stop. Hold
Come
on.
on,
Let me go get another camera real quick.
no more. It's me.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's awesome. I don't have a whole lot more questions. But I would love to follow up with you, in a few months, to see how your TikTok journey is going, whether we do it. Stop doing that. Whether we do it here on Zoom, or you just send me a message on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
I gave your mom my cell phone number. If you wanted to text,
Yeah.
always here, dude.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, wonderful. And we've been known to come to Salt Lake City periodically.
Oh,
That's right.
really?
Yeah, in the bed, Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
About no time.
Yeah.
We got a youth group. You talking? Yeah.
Yeah, our
That's
old youth
good.
pastor is out in Salt Lake City now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. It's not a bad place. Salt Lake is interesting. If you're LDS, you of course know Salt Lake. But for music, it's kind of one of those hidden gems. Like, you would not think music scene in Salt Lake City. Like, you think it's very kind of uptight. It's not. There's a huge nightlife here. It is so diverse, which is why I keep coming back. It's so much fun here. And as far as your landscapes go, That's
Yeah.
one thing I'm going to try to do this summer is go out to Moab and I think it's Garden of the Goblins and the canyons. I'm going to take my shot at doing landscape photography here in Salt Lake and see how it goes.
We came to Moab.
Yeah,
We've
we did.
been twice.
In between, yeah.
And Canyonlands is beautiful.
It's
That's
so
going to
neat.
be one of the pictures in Houston's collection is from Canyonlands.
Yeah.
And then one of the pictures from his collection is from Arches.
Arches.
And it was hot as blue blazes.
Oh, yeah.
106
I mean, yeah, it's really
degrees.
right here.
Yeah.
It's a different heat from Tennessee though.
Yeah, but it was hot.
Well, Tennessee is cold. Utah's hot. So to be good.
Well, we were in Utah
Oh,
in
yeah.
the summer. Right now
Summer,
they've got
yeah.
snow.
The snow.
Yeah,
Well,
we had
just-
spring
I just-
yesterday.
I the news. I told Grandma, he comes to me and says, "Oh, it's Utah, it's snow." Says,
Utah had snow.
"No,
Yeah.
no. It's Grandma. Your mom says you've been in Utah, but snow. So
Mhm.
it's anything."
So have you been further west, like from Utah, maybe out to California or anything? Have you been to
Well, I've
California?
been in Utah and a couple times. We got Governor about 1 week. So
Yeah, Houston's been to 48 states.
he's right. And now it's 36.
He
36.
only lacks Oregon
Oh, no, I've been
and
again.
Alaska.
That was good.
Yeah,
Not been in bucket list.
and
So, yeah.
yep, they're on his bucket list.
That's right.
We were
We
planning to
we
go
we
last
did a
summer.
cruise up through
Ooh.
Alaska. If you
Ooh,
could do
okay.
a cruise through Alaska, it's a really neat experience because you get to go and you're in the water, so you can see like the icebergs and stuff like that. Really, really, really neat experience. So you've got to do that at some point in your life. Which
Well, we were supposed to go last August, but that got canceled. So
can't
we're
do it.
hoping we can
yeah,
reschedule.
yeah.
then.
For some reason, I've been at home. I feel like I've been hibernating in a cave for about a year now.
That the blessing for us in that is that's what has allowed us to go through a lot of our pictures since
Yeah.
we've been home. That gave us time to go back and
Go back.
go
Mhm,
through everything.
Yeah.
Yep. We don't usually take the time to do that.
No, yeah.
Well, I am very happy that I got to meet you today, Houston and
but-
Katie. It's nice to put a face to the messages. And I'm going to remind everybody that your print shop opens tomorrow
Tomorrow.
at
Yeah.
Downs and
April
Town.
15th,
That's
April.
right.
Yep.
Right.
Downs and
Towns. Is it towns
Yeah.
plural?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Towns,
downsandtowns.com.
That's right. Yeah.
If they want to find you on TikTok, you're also at Downs and Towns.
That's right.
If,
Yeah.
if they want to find you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Downs and Towns.
That's
You're
right.
Houston. You're an award-winning photographer, which has been all over the news lately. You're a popular guy, man.
Yeah, I know. I got mom here. So I come back to their mom. They be help me. And we got sets and they do it. One in a cup of mud, one in house, and one upstairs. So to be good.
Yep.
yeah.
What his sister is working on him some hats
Yes.
and t-shirts and coffee
And cup
cups.
caps.
You've
Yeah.
got merch coming out.
Elevate. My sister, my mentor to elevate once.
His sister's
Yes.
his manager.
His
Yep.
mentor. And mom would say, right there. I mean, I don't know. So yeah.
Yep.
And
Houston's-
you're the talent.
But I'm always trying to.
You're the talent. You're
Whoa.
the actor. You're on
Mom's like,
everything.
mentor said me. So yeah, we'll go team. Team.
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
it takes a good group of people to help you.
Yep.
And you've got a good group of people. You
Well, I
really
got
do.
Mom and my sister.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Well, I am very happy to have met you. I want to keep in touch. I want to keep in contact because when it comes to photography, I actually have stuff coming up this year. I
Oh,
don't-
okay.
I don't think we're going to be locked down. So I'd love to share
That's
my photos
fine.
with you and so on and so forth. And
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
does that sound all right?
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Yeah. And mom was well too.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome. You guys have been fantastic, and I really appreciate the opportunity. You, just to let you know, my second guest.
Oh,
You're
there
my
you go.
second guest.
you seem like a very seasoned host.
I can flap my lips with the best of them.
That's another talent.
The benefits of living in the South, I guess, is you learn to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn to carry on a conversation, and yeah, it's I try, but you're my second guest, so I'd like to follow up. Like I said, in the future, if you've got some cool things coming up, and I'll just keep in touch with you and let you know
Okay.
what I've got going on too. Because we can have a whole network of photographers. So I'm a fan of yours, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
I
keep
know,
watching you on
I'll
TikTok.
be yours too.
Yeah.
As well.
Houston's a fan of yours too.
That's
Well, I
right.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Do you think we covered everything?
I think we're good.
That's
Did I
right.
miss anything? We got your
Nope.
opening stuff. We got all sorts of stuff. You're a busy dude.
Yeah, I bet I got mom and my sister, so to be help me. So yeah, it's good.
Yep.
We got two,
That's
but
awesome.
I got 4 mom and his daughter. His wife.
Yep.
Yeah.